Entry 28, this one covering Thursday, May 7th and Friday, May 8th of 1964. This is a two-page, one page and about 7 lines entry. What is this about here?
It reflects the fact that I had a need to help inform the commission as to the work that the staff was doing in terms of deposing witnesses. And what we had asked the staff to do was provide short summaries of their depositions so that those could be compiled and distributed to members of the commission. And the staff undertook that with reasonably good humor. They sort of thought that maybe members of the commission ought to read the full transcripts, but of course that was unlikely to happen. So the summaries were useful a service to the commission, and if members wanted to proceed to learn more, they could ask for the full transcript or consult with members of the staff who had conducted the deposition. And there were members of the commission who took particular interest in subjects and did on occasion meet with members of the staff to discuss those issues together. And in addition, I was producing another draft of what was going to be the introductory chapter to the Commission's report, and there'd been some work done on that by the Chief Justice himself and by Norman Redlich and Rankin and others, and I was pulling all this together in the most recent draft. But it was obviously not a very controversial part of the report, but was something that needed to be done, and the sooner one could do the easy portions of the report, it gave you more time to work on the more difficult sections. So that's the content.
The summaries that you mentioned, those exist anywhere today?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. They were probably never made an exhibit, but they're probably in the working documents of the commission at the National Archives. I did not have a copy of those in my own files.
The individual commission members, do you have an idea of the disposition of their papers at various organizations, universities, or anything?
Well, I remember seeing that several of them have donated papers to various institutions. I think David Bellin gave his to the Ford Library at the University of Michigan.
Dr. Goldberg pops up again, and there's a great quote. I mean, we don't have to discuss it, but he indicated that he learned his lesson and said that he would never write another memorandum because I guess more work was assigned to him.
He wrote a memorandum. I don't know whether it was about the rumors and speculations appendix or something else, but it was a very worthwhile effort. And after discussing it with Rankin, I called Al Goldberg and said, "You're chosen." And he was very good humored about it. He worked hard. He spent a long time. And I think he enjoyed the experience. And actually, he wrote a very perceptive article in the 1960s after the report was it had been submitted 3 years earlier, and in which he tried to analyze Oswald and I quoted, I think, in the book near the last chapter of the book, Goldberg's assessment of the Commission's handling of the investigation and how you can support its conclusion with respect to Oswald and the lack of a conspiracy just from the context of what was done. Anyway, it was very meaningful in my judgment. Actually, I probably ought to look it up and read it for the record now that I mentioned it.
Yeah, we can do that at the start of the next entry. At the bottom here, you went to a ball game, so you're still getting to do a few fun things every so often.
Yes. I don't know who won the game, but yes, I did get away occasionally.
It was fun. You know, I've gone through this diary of yours or this journal multiple times, and it's always fun when there's just a little personal aside that pops up, because it reminds me that you did have a life outside the commission, which is good to know. All right, we'll pick this up and we can read that quote at the beginning of the next entry.